What's up, everybody? We're back again with another fantastic episode. I'm going to play off of last week's episode where I took 15 Bible quotes and broke them down for you. Again, this is freestyling off the top. So I printed out 5 quotes from 3 different philosophers: Seneca, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and Rumi. And the reason why is because scrolling on Instagram and especially connected with Stoicism, I've seen their names, I've seen quotes of theirs online, and I figured, you know what, let me throw up some quotes about them and I'll freestyle and see where it goes, see what comes to mind. So I very briefly saw some of these quotes. I did not see all of them. I did not read into all of them or think about them before making this video. I just printed out these sheets and we're about to get into it. First and foremost, let me get a mate up in this motherfucker. Yeah, boy. Salud. All right. Seneca. First quote I got is, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." What that makes me think of is the fact that the state of worrying, like people will create scenarios in their minds that they're suffering from that have like no comparison with what's going on in the reality of things. When we worry, we're beating ourselves up. We're thinking about these situations that do not exist. Let's say you're overthinking or you don't trust your partner and you're worrying essentially that your partner is being unfaithful or doing things that you consider betraying, and you're running these scenarios through your head. Your brain does not differentiate between imagined experiences and real experiences. So if you are imagining and visualizing a painful situation, you are experiencing that painful situation, whether or not it's even happening in reality. Understand that. You must control your thoughts. You must think and grow rich, think and grow abundantly, think and grow in a healthy manner. You have so much more control over your mind and your perception of things than you think you do. And perception is reality. What you believe and what you perceive is what you can achieve. That being said, we suffer way more when we worry and visualize and imagine bad situations happening than compared to when we're actually suffering in real life. I'm not denying that bad things could be happening to you or you could be going through a season of lack. But remember, like the last episode, I spoke about the pendulum of life. It goes back and forth. If it swings this way in abundance, it's going to swing this way in lack eventually. And when you are in a season of lack, keep in mind that Christ is close to you. God is close to you because you are brokenhearted and crushed in spirit. When everything's all good, you're not learning nothing. When everything's all good, you're just swimming along like, yeah, life is beautiful, life is great. And that's beautiful, that's nice. But you have to be prepared mentally for when the pendulum swings the other way. Neither of those two sides of the pendulum swing are forever. All seasons are temporary. Everything is subject to change. The only constant in life is change. Okay? Boom. Second, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Man, change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. You feel me? Do you feel me? It's not that things are difficult that we're like, nah, like it's so hard to build your own business, so I'm not gonna do that. It's because you're not gonna do that it's hard. Oh, you know, I don't like my job. The manager treats me like this, but you know what? It's so hard to go out and get another job, so I'm not gonna do it. No. Reframe, recalibrate, change your perception of things. I am going to do it, and therefore it is not hard. It is not difficult. Success is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Remember, like they used to tell you in school, keep it simple, stupid. For lack of better words, keep it simple, stupid. It's simple. It's not easy, or else everybody would do it. But it's simple. And if you put your mind to it, you can do it. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. There's a quote by Chris Voss, who wrote Never Split the Difference, a book about negotiation tactics, right? He's an FBI hostage negotiator who wrote a book translating negotiation with hostage negotiations to negotiation in business. And the point of the book is that, I mean, this guy had to be good at negotiation because you can't split a hostage. You either get them or they die. There's no in between. You have to negotiate the deal correctly. And so I love that book. I have read it 3 or 4 times already, front to back, and I'm going to continue reading it more because the concepts in it are just so against what the average teachings of negotiation are, which is like getting people to say yes. No, he gets people to say no. He uses tactical empathy, like so much more. But he says that you don't get in life, what you deserve. You get in life not what you deserve. You get in life what you negotiate. That is so important, man. So if you do not learn how to navigate the world that exists and you're constantly crying about what is, then you'll never get what you want, because you don't get in life what you deserve. You get in life what you negotiate. And why did that quote come to my mind when I read this quote by Seneca? Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Because people like to say, oh, you're so lucky. I'm so lucky? You know how many years I've been working out nonstop every single day? I'm lucky? I'm determined. I motivate my damn self. You know how many albums I have on Spotify and iTunes and Apple Music? You know how many years I went without people listening to it, ups and downs. One day I have 1,000 followers and listeners on Spotify. The next month, it's only 50. Like, there's no luck in here. It's about what you prepare for, the work that you put in, the work that you do when nobody is looking. So that when the opportunity presents itself, you are prepared. You're ready to negotiate. You're ready to hit the table and bring value to the negotiation table and get what you negotiate, not what you deserve. If people got what they deserved, people that work construction or people that work in auto mechanics or people that build buildings and people who do hard labor and cleaners and stuff like that, they would be abundantly wealthy. Because they're putting in hard work, grueling work. But you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. You get what you prepare for. So luck doesn't exist. It's hard work and dedication, motivation, and determination to do what you have to do. Learning the way that things are and using the rules that exist to benefit yourself and others. Number 4, if a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. If you don't know where you're headed, no wind is going to help you. If you're in a boat and you're sailing and you don't know where the boat is supposed to go, if you don't know where the port is that you need to go bring your boat, it doesn't matter if the wind blows north, south, east, west. It doesn't matter. None of these wins will help you get to where you want to go. Because why? You don't even know where you want to go. It's one of the biggest points in this book right here. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I've read this book multiple times already, and I'm going to keep on reading it because it's filled with absolute mind-blowing concepts about mindset. One of the first things that they mention is having a determined goal. Bob Proctor says, the one who is successful is the one headed towards a goal. You have a goal, you're working towards it, and that is success. Not the people who have already achieved everything. That's not success. The idea of success is just the idea of the fact that you have a goal that you are committed to achieving, and you are going to do it no matter what. And you're going to fail 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 10,000 times, and then boom, you created the light bulb. You revolutionize the way that people live, our everyday life. You understand? You got to have a goal that you're working towards. You got to know where to set your GPS so that you could get there. But if you don't have a goal in mind, a set location, that GPS will not help you. Number 5, he who is brave is free. I remember years and years and years ago, I wanted to talk to the pretty girls at school. And I didn't believe in myself. And I was in a prison of my own mind, man. I was in a prison of my own making. You know, they were right there, and I wanted so badly to say something, but I didn't know what to say, and I overthought it. And what if she rejects me? And what if she doesn't want to talk to me? And this and that. The prison was in my mind. I was in that mental prison. I was not brave or courageous enough to say something. And now I'm free of that mental prison. I talk to rich people. I talk to people and make connections. I speak about money freely. I ask and I receive money. I live in abundance. I ask beautiful women out on dates. I invite them out on dates. And I go and we have a great time. And I compliment their beauty. And we conversate. And we connect. And I am no longer shy or scared. I get rejected. It's fine. Sometimes somebody doesn't want to give me money. I don't make the sale. It's fine. But he who is brave is free. And if you are not brave or courageous enough to do what is in your heart, to do what your desire is, then you are living in a prison of your own making, a prison of your mind. And I just can't live like that. And I advise you to practice getting over that, or else you will live in that mental prison forever. There are some people who just tell me all the reasons why they cannot, and all the reasons why they deal with what they deal with, and all of their troubles and all of their woes. And I'm telling you right now, your self-belief and your self-image is everything, and you need to change the story that you tell yourself. Think about your wins. Think about your accomplishments. Think about the things that make you confident. Think about the things that help you to realize how powerful you are. Give yourself power. Do not take power away from you. Don't blame things on, oh, I'm depressed. I have depression, so I can't. Don't give power to things that aren't you. Take accountability. I was, quote, quote, depressed last week, but I made videos. I spoke to people. I went to business meetings. I did what I had to do. Not because of, oh, I'm so manly and I do what I have to do regardless of how I'm feeling, but because I knew that the only path is forward. I feel what I feel. I'm going through pain. I'm going through emotions. But the only path is forward, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. Set a goal for yourself and achieve over and over and over. and take accountability. Approach that beautiful girl. Approach that handsome guy. Talk to that rich person. Make that connection. And take the rejection. Every no is a no closer to yes. Take accountability. Think what you could have done better. Think what you did wrong. And move on. Move forward. Another quote that I saw that's not part of this, but I'm going to say it because it's so freaking cool, is do not look backwards in anger. Do not look forward in fear. Look around you in awareness. Woo! That's beautiful right there. All right, listen. Next one. You ready? Ralph Waldo Emerson. 1, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. We are being molded. We are being psyoped. We are being mind controlled every single day. Every marketing campaign, every commercial, every piece of content that you consume, they are trying to tell you what to do and who to be. But in this world that is constantly trying to make you something else, you must be yourself. That right there is the greatest accomplishment. Number 2, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. I love how directly correlated that was with the quote that I said about not looking backwards in anger or forward in fear. One more time, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. And it's just another way to say that same quote that I shared with you. You know, there is a present right now. There is something within you right now that you should be paying more attention to. You should be fully aware and present in this moment. Number 3, do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Woo! Oh, man. That one's good. That one's good. You know, I was telling my friend earlier today that matters of mentorship. I have mentors. There's people that I look up to. And I pick what I like and I disregard what I do not like. I don't agree with anybody 100 million %. I like this about this one and I like this about this one. And I'm going to build the ultimate, coolest freaking person that has ever existed in my eyes, in my mind, in my heart, and in my soul. I'm going to create my own path. I'm going to leave a trail for people to look at my path and be like, that is so cool, I want to do that. And hopefully they only follow for so long and they forge their own trail and their own path. Because you shouldn't agree with anybody 100 million %. We're human beings with flaws. We're not gods. There's only one God. So be yourself, you know? Learn from people, but be yourself. That brings to mind a quote that I hear from a lot of entrepreneurs and motivational people. They say success leaves clues. Tony Robbins says that a lot. Success leaves clues. Look at successful people and model your path to success based on what their path to success was. And again, like model it, but do not 100 million % copy it. Every day is different. Every day there's advancements in technology. Every day there's changes. You're going to have to see and peep opportunity for what your skill sets are, for what your knowledge is, and what your talents are, your passions are. You're going to forge your own path. Success leaves clues, yes. Pick up on those clues and forge your own path. Number 4, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. That's beautiful. If you want to compromise, that's who you decided to be. You're a compromiser. If you want to quit things, that's who you've decided to be, a quitter. But if you decide to be a winner, if you decide to be somebody with status, if you decide to be somebody with wealth and abundance, if you decide to be happy, that's who you are destined to become. You must have faith in the person that you are destined to become, who you have decided to be. So decide right now who you want to be, what kind of person you want to be, what your gravestone will say, what people will remember you for after you've transcended the physical, after you die. Because we all are going to die one day. And we're going to leave an impact on the people that we interacted with. What is that impact for you? What do you want to be remembered for? How do you want to impact the people around you? Because the only person you're destined to become is the person you decide to be. Here's another really good one. For every minute you remain angry, you give up 60 seconds of peace of mind. So I have mixed feelings about this one, because personally, I understand the importance of a emotion such as anger. But my background in meditation and Reiki and Taoism, Buddhism, I don't often feel anger. And I believe that anger and rage are very, very closely, put together. And people lose themselves in rage. They do things that they ultimately will regret. That's how people land in jail. That's how people end up dead. One day I was driving my car and I was very, very angry, and I was shaking angry, and I turned really hard, and my car literally went like from flat to like up like that, and I could have rolled over. And that was insane. I mean, that was a big, big key thing for me to remember. Do not drive when you're angry, So personally, I have mixed feelings about that quote. For every minute you remain angry, you give up 60 seconds of peace of mind. No, I agree with it. I agree with it 100%. But the reason why it's mixed is because I know that Andrew Tate says that anger, you should get angry and you should want to change the life that you live if you are sad with your life, right? Because sad is a low vibration energy that is very like non-moving. If you're depressed or you're sad, you just want to just be still. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to take action, whereas anger will make you take action. So my only advice is, if you're a person who deals with anger, please find a way to channel that into your workouts or into productive things, content creation or networking, making sales, building, whatever it is that you do. And if you feel anger, channel it into what you do so that you can actually take positive action. I personally get upset. I don't get angry. I get sad. I don't get angry. And yeah, I take that pain, and like I've said plenty of times before, I make content with it. I write, I make music, I do a lot of things to help me get through those emotions. I don't deal in matters of anger because I don't believe, for me, that it's productive at all. Whenever I've been in a state of anger, I've been angry many times in family situations. I fought with my brother, I fought with my father, I've argued with my mom. And none of those are like ever anything that I'm proud of after I lose myself in rage and I lose myself in anger. And so luckily, I've been able to control that, and now I don't feel anger. I'll get upset, I'll get sad, and then I'll do what I have to do regardless, like I told you before. But anger is something we want to really avoid. We really want to avoid that. Even though Andrew Tate says it, like I said about mentorship, you can't agree with everything that everybody says. But if you do deal with anger, find a way to put it into something that's actually going to be productive for you. That's my advice to you. And don't lose yourself in that anger or that rage. Take some time to breathe, restart, refresh, reset. Breathe diaphragmatically, 10 deep breaths, and you will literally change the chemicals in your brain so that you can calm down. You'll lower those cortisol levels and just refresh. Okay, come back down to baseline. So I'll teach you the diaphragmatic breath right now. Your tummy is right here. Your lungs are up here. Your diaphragm is right where the tummy is. So breathe in. Watch my hand. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you were able to notice my hand very slightly, I know you only see the top of my hand right now, but you know, with the exhale, my hand went in, and when I was inhaling, my breath pushed my diaphragm outwards, filling up that balloon that is my diaphragm, and my belly expanded and my hand went with it. If you do 10 of those, you slow everything down. Just relax. We do not make good decisions when we're angry. I promise you. Our brain goes into fight or flight. And what you want to do is bring it down to a baseline. Back down to relaxation. Back to a happy place. So you can truly think about your next move. You're not blinded by rage or fury or hatred or anger, okay? You're guided by love. You're making a educated choice or decision, knowing that it's going to benefit your future, which isn't always easy, but I believe in you. All right, now 5 quotes from Rumi. 1, do not be satisfied with the stories that come before you. Unfold your own myth. There's a lot of legends that exist. You know, a lot of people that have done a lot of cool things. But make your own legend, man. Forge your own path, like I said before. Find your own success. Do what you got to do for you. Don't be content or satisfied with the stories of those before you. You're better than that. Number 2, the wound is the place where the light enters you. Last episode, I said that God is closest to those that are brokenhearted and crushed in spirit. So Rumi says the wound is the place where the light enters you. Back to what I'm saying about when you are going through a tough time, you're growing, you're evolving. Growth is painful. That's why you have growing pains, right? And where you're hurting from, what is hurting you the most is teaching you the most lessons. And so the wound is the place where the light enters. This is your opportunity to grow. This is your opportunity to learn and be a better person. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on what the lesson is that you have to learn. And being the best version of yourself possible. That's the whole idea of everything that I do. To provoke you to be the best version of yourself. Number 3, don't grieve. Anything you lose comes around in another form. So this is really cool. This chain is real gold. And I used to wear a chain that was fake gold, right? And I thought it was so cool and I wore it all the time. One day I said to myself, as much as I like this chain, I'm gonna take it off and I will wear a chain again. I love chains. You always see me with the chain. I wear my chain every single day. I will wear a chain when I can afford a real one. I took it off. Not even 2 weeks later, I'm working out, doing what I have to do to be a better me. And I go for a breather. I lean up against the door and I look outside and I see on the floor a gold chain. Long story short, I grabbed it, I washed it off. I went to the bathroom, I washed all the mud. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. 14 karat gold, this is real. This is real gold. You have to understand that the universe absolutely abhors a vacuum. And so if you make space for something new, it will come. The universe will fill the void. So don't grieve for anything that you lose, because it'll be filled in with something better, something new. It will come back around. Not the same way, not the same thing, something better. Understand that. And also, this brings me to another quote that I heard that says, no man steps in the same river twice, for he is not the same man, and it is not the same river. River is flowing. The water's flowing. You know, you could step in a river today and then tomorrow go back to the river, and that's not the same water. That's water from somewhere else. Because it's flowing, it's moving, and you're not the same man as you were yesterday. You understand? We all grow, we all develop, we all learn. You're not the same person, and that's not the same river. So don't grieve for anything that you lose. And, you know, that's just, it's a quote. You know, it's not that you should ignore or suppress your emotions. Grieve if you have to. Breathe. But understand, this is here to fix your mindset, to help you think, to help you get through the tough times. Don't grieve forever. Don't grieve for too long. Don't grieve so much that it becomes your identity and the story that you tell yourself. Reframe, recalibrate, and tell yourself a different story about yourself. Believe in a new version of you. If you believe the old story you've been telling yourself, oh, woe is me, oh, how much life sucks, oh, how depressed I am, you'll never change from that person. That's who you are because that's who you believe you are. That's who you are destined to be because that's who you believe that you are. So don't grieve for too long. Allow yourself to feel, but do what you gotta do. Number 4, you were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life? You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life? That's very poetic, you know, because we weren't really born with wings, physical ones anyway. But, you know, why drag yourself through the dirt? Why drag yourself through the mud when you have so much potential? When you are such a beautiful being, when you have goodness in your heart, why drag yourself through the mud? Why drag yourself through the dirt? Why crawl through shit? When you could be running in a field of flowers and grass, butterflies and bees, not crawling through tunnels of sewage. You understand? Like, why would you make yourself suffer more? You're destined for so much more. Believe that you're destined for more and believe in your value to society, and fly. Go far. Fly. Believe in yourself. Number 5, which is going to be the last quote that I read to you today, and then until next week, okay? When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. Boy, am I glad I saved the confusing one for last. Every single one made sense, so this one I'm going to have to go over because I don't know what that means. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. That quote doesn't make any sense. Like, there's a lot going on in the world, I guess. Ideas, language, yeah, there's a lot going on, man. There's too much going on. So the only thing that I'm going to say about that is take a deep breath, meditate, come back to self, because the world is full. There's so much going on. There's war, there's peace, there's abundance, there's lack, there's this, there's that. There's so much happening. I want you to forge your own path and form your own perception to be able to live the life that you want to live, not to be consumed by what else exists. There's a lot going on, and I don't want you to be distracted by it. I want you to create, not to consume. I want you to build your best version of yourself and your best version of the life that you desire. Today is my 13th day without alcohol. I've decided to make a great change in my life. My sister told me when she visited me that I could be so much and I have so much potential and she's 17. God bless her. She's incredible. She's my mini-me, and I want to make her proud. She told me that if I stop drinking, that I could be so much more, and that is the biggest thing that she sees as holding me back in life. And you know, I've made a lot of unwise decisions while being under the influence. You got to understand, some people could have a drink, I guess, and it's casual and it's fine. Me, I've dealt with alcoholism my whole life. I've dealt with alcoholism in my family for years and years and years, generations. And, you know, it's just something that I want to take the power back for myself. The first week was difficult. By the 6th day, I actually found myself dancing to music again and feeling things that I haven't felt in a while. And I believe in this new person who I'm becoming. And I believe that if there's something that you're struggling with, that if you put your faith in God and you put your faith in yourself and know that God has your back, that you can achieve anything you want to do. And that if there is a bad habit that you have, replace it with a good habit. I'm drinking a lot more tea and a lot more coffee these days. But you got to replace bad habits with good ones. You know, you can't just stop something cold turkey and think that's it. You're not going to be tempted by it. You will be tempted. But make a decision. Follow out that decision. Don't try to convince everybody else. Convince yourself. Believe in yourself. And until next week, I appreciate you all. Peace out. Much love.